Hi, I'm Kesten Rono, and today is day 102 of A Course in Miracles. Thank you for being here. May you know happiness and peace. Reviewing Principle 32. I inspire all miracles, which are really intercessions. They intercede for your holiness and make your perceptions holy. By placing you beyond the physical laws, they raise you into the sphere of celestial order. In this order, you are perfect. Are here is italicized. In this order, you are perfect. Believe it, it's saying. I inspire all miracles. I find this part interesting. This may be the only principle using the first person. I inspire all miracles, which are really intercessions. They intercede for your holiness and make your perceptions holy. By placing you beyond the physical laws, they raise you into the sphere of celestial order. In this order, you are perfect. May we inspire miracles. They intercede for your holiness and make your perceptions holy. Our goal with true vision is to see all things through our holiness, to see ourselves innately as sinless, as God is sinless, and as God is love and God is your conscious Father. He wills you love. God's will for you is perfect happiness. Perfect happiness. There is nothing else to seek beyond perfect happiness. I mean, you can do anything, but you are already perfectly happy. There is nothing that you believe you need to achieve or have, nothing external from you that can give you perfect happiness. This is God's will for you. This is why you are here, to notice your happiness, to see your holiness, and to see all things through your holiness. I inspire all miracles, which are really intercessions. They intercede for your holiness and make your perceptions holy. We are perceiving the reflections of our holiness. Our state of mind becomes holiness, and thus our state of being is holiness. Our perceptions become holy. Our perspective is holy. By placing you beyond the physical laws, that is, to identify with our spirit, to affirm this spirit identification, to allow ourselves to be curious about the invisible, whatever it is that you are, beyond the body and beyond the system of the body in time and space. Some idea of whatever you are that is timeless, beyond suffering, beyond time. Perfect peace, perfect safety, freedom from worry, abundance, truth, love. You are worthy, powerful, abundant, and complete. By placing you beyond the physical laws, they raise you into the sphere of celestial order. In this order, you are perfect. May you see yourself in the eyes of perfection and no longer condemn yourself. Lesson 102. I share God's will for happiness for me. Yesterday we said, God's will for me is perfect happiness. God's will for you is perfect happiness. And today, please repeat after me. I share God's will for happiness for me. I share God's will for happiness for me. You do not want to suffer. You may think it buys you something and may still believe a little that it buys you what you want. Yet this belief is surely shaken now, at least enough to let you question it, and to suspect it really makes no sense. Hmm. You do not want to suffer. You may think it buys you something, that anything worthy must be painful, take hard work. I mean, I'm not doubting that there could be value in hard work, but if we are ruled by dis-ease, emotionally or otherwise, may we welcome in an era of ease, and may we see that there is peace in ease. Ease is not suffering. You do not want to suffer. You may think it buys you something, and may still believe a little that it buys you what you want. Perhaps, yes. Yet this belief is surely shaken now, at least enough to let you question it, and to suspect it really makes no sense. I have been hearing myself feel that some of the things that I am seeing are insane, unreal, nonsensical. May I wake up and notice that I am noticing this because I am subscribing to it, and I would like to subscribe to the meaningful and purposeful and true. It has not gone as yet, but lacks the roots that once secured it tightly to the dark and hidden secret places of your mind. May this just be true. I share God's will for happiness for me. I do not want to suffer. Today we try to loose its weakened hold still further and to realize that pain is purposeless. Pain is purposeless. Without a cause and with no power to accomplish anything. Investing in pain will yield more pain, whether you notice it for yourself or you notice it in the world around you. It cannot purchase anything at all. It offers nothing and does not exist. And everything you think it offers you is lacking in existence, like itself. You have been slave to nothing. You have been slave to nothing. But you free today. Be you free today to join the happy will of God, the happy will of God. If you are separate from God and separate from yourself, and you are not noticing your own light, that you are not in love and not seeing life through your holiness, that's me, then we are playing with something that is different than that. Different than that. And if God is love and God is eternal in all knowledge, beyond all time, and created you, whatever it is that you are, the you thinking, dreaming, believing, hurting, you imagine. And this God could design so many systems or give us the creativity to design them ourselves. If we are separate from God, then we are living in some kind of design that is less than the perfect. And so we are finding imperfections everywhere. We are curious about meaning and truth and purpose. Of course you are. That's why the truth is the truth. It feels true. To be valuable, to work hard in a job, to honor your parents, anything. To be valuable feels good. It feels good. This idea can get co-opted by someone else or by us ultimately subscribing to some idea that is less than true. And we can be confused. I have been confused. But if we are separate from God, if we are not seeing life through our holiness, if we are not willing to forgive when something comes and affronts us, if we cannot say, God still is love and this is not his will, God's will for me is perfect happiness. If you cannot say this, feel this, mean this, share this, exude this, be this with ease, then just know that you are not doing that. And whatever it is that you are subscribing to, you are hoping will give you meaning. You are hoping that it will help you feel complete. and it is external to you. It's external to you. You and I have been investing in false idols. I can't make you be anything. I can make you do things, perhaps, but I can't make you be those things. You must decide, or you must be tricked. And if you're tricked, you're not deciding, you are not being those things, ultimately. You do not want to suffer. It really makes no sense. Pain is purposeless, and it is not even real. It is not here. It is not the truth. It is not love. It is not foundational. It is not unconditional. It is not unconditional. Today, you can fall down, go to the doctor, get an opiate. You're, you're not going to feel pain the same way. It has conditions with obviously. And you may say, well, love has conditions. And I would say not unconditional love. And you could say, what about unconditional pain? And I would say, where is it? Where is it? You have to cause it. Allow it. God is not punishing unconditionally. No, he is inviting you to see something different. That is why you care about noticing meaning and truth and purpose. That is why you do not call suffering heaven. And if you do, it's not true. It's not true. They're not the same idea. They're not the same idea. For several days, we will continue to devote our periods of practicing to exercises planned to help you reach the happiness God's will has placed in you. In you. Your salvation, your forgiveness, your opportunity to see light is within you. And as you notice it, as I notice it, we will notice that whatever it is that we were holding on to needn't not be held on to. And if we had let go of it, just like you can look back in your life and say, if I only started that sooner, whatever, you know? But you're right. If you had seen it differently at that time, you would realize that whatever it is you hadn't achieved or hadn't noticed was still present to be noticed or to be achieved. This is the same with the light within us. It is fundamentally here, now, in multiple senses of the terms, just because we cannot see it. And as we have more experiences and pay attention to our reflections and feel our upsets and be aware of the attack cycles that we have chosen to be a part of, and know that we are ultimately part of all there is of humanity, of all there is, period. And therefore, we are contributing to whatever the totality is. That would be true for everybody. And if we want to see salvation in its entirety, peace in its entirety, perfect peace, and to wish this for all minds, well, we are one of all minds. You must wear it. Why would you expect anyone else to do it first? And why would you expect them to do it for you or that they even could? Now, you must feel your version of your upsets and your story that you have been telling yourself. Let it go. Ask God directly for help. Say, thank you for your guidance. What will you have me do? Not what you need, not what you want. Whenever I ask, which maybe is not enough, I hear back, you think you know, but you're trying too hard. As in, I am shaping it and I'm insisting on something because I've seen this detail and that detail, and this is how I feel inside. Every time, let it go. You're perfectly taken care of. You just keep insisting that it can't be true. And yet, once you see exactly what's going on, you notice that you are. Yes, I am getting this little drip of serendipity, these beautiful leaves, radiant upon the jungle floor, leaving me a trail to light through the darkness. I am light in the darkness. Thank you for noticing me. We are attempting to reach the happiness God's will has placed in us. Here is your home, and here your safety is. Here is your peace, and here there is no fear. Here is salvation. Here is rest at last. Begin your practice periods today with this acceptance of God's will for you. I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. Please repeat after me. I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. Again, I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. Putting it all together, I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. Only you can make this declaration for yourself. Then seek this function deep within your mind, for it is there, awaiting but your choice. It's your choice. You choose. You cannot fail to find it when you learn it is your choice and that you share God's will. When you have the opportunity to choose, you have to be able to choose between something. And if what you are noticing is dis-ease, and you are invited to choose as part of God's loving, holy, freeing will, well, the antithesis is ease. You may notice it and choose it. And if you do not see it, you may still choose it. You may still choose it. If you are seeing fear, you may choose love. If you are noticing insanity, that things feel unreal, you may choose the truth. You may choose meaning and purpose, your absolute best interests. You may choose perfect peace, perfect safety, perfect happiness. You may choose. You cannot fail to find it when you learn it is your choice and that you share God's will. Be happy. Be happy. For your only function here is happiness. You have no need to be less loving to God's Son than He whose love created Him, as loving as Himself. Be happy. For your only function here is happiness. You have no need to be less loving to God's Son than He whose love created Him, as loving as Himself. That is, you do not need to be so hard on yourself. From God's perspective, you are the Son of God, even if you do not feel such a way. You do not need to be hard on yourself. He loves you in the unconditional sense, the eternal sense, the timeless sense. That is how He loves you. That is what He would hope you would notice. But you choose. So you do not need to choose death and destruction, condemnation for yourself. Be happy, for your only function here is happiness. What would you want for your children? Anything other than this dis-ease. You would want them to feel happiness. Have you seen a kid laugh? It is wonderful. May you know that happiness as you are now, as you are tomorrow. May you share that opportunity. Now, that can't be all I want. I need these other things. What if they're taken care of? Remember, perfect happiness. Perfect happiness. Do you desire anything else? Why would that not be part of whatever perfect happiness is? Please allow yourself to choose perfect happiness, for your only function here is happiness. You have no need to be less loving to God's Son. You do not need to be hard on yourself. God created God's Son as loving as Himself. That's you. Besides these hourly 5-minute rests, pause frequently today to tell yourself that you have now accepted happiness as your one function. And be sure that you are joining with God's will in doing this. Remember, God's messengers are joyous. If you want to be celebrating whatever it is that God is in the unconditional, wholly unchanged realm of love, the celestial order, whatever that is, if you want to be a part of something that is greater than the vulnerability and death associated with your current way of seeing, watching your worth measured in estates, dollars, unbacked by nature, inflating away to nothingness, robbing from you and your children by threat of force. If this is how you would like to see your life, you know where it heads. If you're on this path, do not be surprised when you reach the destination. But may you be grateful because this idea must die. This idea must go. The idea will go. You, consciously perceiving, will not. You will feel your upsets. You will feel your pain. You will feel your suffering. But you do not want to suffer. Pain is purposeless. Living in it has no purpose for you and is not in your best interest. No, you are loved. Be happy, for your only function here is happiness. You have no need to be less loving to God's Son than He whose love created Him, as loving as Himself. Be sure you are joining with God's will in saying, I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. I am Kesten Rono, and I share God's will for happiness for me, and I accept it as my function now. May I be joyous. May I be a light in the darkness. May I be a messenger of peace. And may I see you tomorrow for day 103. Please be well.